And we are live. Good Monday morning. Oh my goodness. It's kind of early. But I'm going to give some people time to jump on. Just give a few seconds. I hope everybody is doing well. Have we had coffee? Hey, Kathy Bentley. We're going to be talking about success, what successful people do not do. That is what we're going to be talking about today. As I try to get to the gym. I didn't know. I'm like already in ponytail and no makeup. It's like the blooms off the rose with this live video. I can't do it. All right. Okay, good morning. All right, well, here we go. I want to talk about the 5 things that successful people do not do. So I know that you can share this video, you can give me the thumbs up, you can do a lot of things that kind of helps move this video along, and if you do that, I really appreciate it. For those of you who are not familiar with who I am, my name is Nikki Woods, and in a nutshell, what I do is I help move people towards their greatness, and I do that through a lot of different avenues. But that is it. That is boiled down. A lot of times we do so many different things. It's like kind of hard to explain to people exactly what it is that you do. But what I am really passionate about is moving people towards their greatness. And a lot of that is mindset. And so this week, probably for most of the week, I'm going to be talking about success and how to have a successful mindset. And before I forget, I have a free gift. I have a success blueprint that if you go to the link blessmenikki.com, you can pick it up. It's free, and there's 7 steps on how to put together kind of like your success blueprint. So the link is blessmenikki because it's free, and I thought it was cute. So anyway, so 5 things successful people don't do, right? The first thing they don't do is they don't let anybody limit their joy. All right, and that's really, really important. A lot of times, especially if you're in a high charge situation, people can affect you, and your mood can change. It can go up and go down. And so, when you are emotionally healthy, you know that everything comes from inside of you, and there's nothing that anybody can do out there that can take that away unless you let them. So, most successful people will not let anyone limit their joy. Obviously, we're going to be in situations where we work with people that don't make us happy, make life difficult. We're going to be in high charged emotional situations. We're going to have to make tough decisions. Absolutely. But we don't let ourselves be moved from that. And so that is something that's really, really important to know. That is the first thing that successful people do not do. They won't let anybody limit their joy. The second thing is they don't prioritize perfection, right? What does that mean? Successful people don't sit around and wait for everything to be perfect before they move. It doesn't happen. You will be stuck waiting to write that book. You will be stuck waiting to start that business. You will be stuck waiting to start that movement. Successful people do not wait till everything is perfect. A friend of mine, and I'm sure a lot, people on this stream are familiar with her, April Franks Hunt. We just had this conversation. It's like, you show up a certain way in the world, and people assume that because it looks good on the outside, that it's always good on the inside. And sometimes, with technology and life, things happen, and things are not always perfect from the inside looking out. Like the back end could be jacked up. I told her I put a launch together one time, and it was like with spit and bubble gum. Seriously. But it was impactful, but it worked. It helped people. And if I had waited for that to be perfect, people wouldn't have gotten what they needed to get. And I wouldn't be doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So most successful people do not prioritize perfection, and they learn that pretty quickly. The third thing that they do is they don't live in the past. Successful people do not live in the past. And what I mean by that is all of us have failed at something. We have all been in situations that did not go according to plan. But you don't dwell on that. You figure out what the lesson is, right? And then you take it with you into your next success. You learn from it, you grow from it, and you get closer to what you're supposed to be doing. Right? You do not stay, if I had done this, if I had done that. In fact, there's a saying, fail faster. Let's get to the fail. Let's fail so we can get the lesson and we can be successful more quickly. That also goes back to the whole perfection thing. It's like we're so afraid to fail that we don't move. But if you don't fail, you don't learn anything. right? And failing doesn't have to be this whole catastrophic bankruptcy, lost my business, I'm on the street kind of thing. I mean, we've all had losses, professionally and personally. And you take that loss and you grow from it. The fourth thing that successful people do not do is they don't hang around negative people. They will not even allow that energy into their space. And I know that's really hard when you're in situations that you don't necessarily fully control. Like right now, like I have no drama in my life. None. No, I won't even... what? I want it from my kids. I don't want it from my dog. I don't want it from my... I don't want it. Because I control what my life looks like. And when you work for, somebody, sometimes you can't control the people that are in your environment. You can only control your reaction. But you don't willingly allow negativity to enter your space, right? So that's the fourth thing. Successful people will not hang around negative people. And unfortunately, I gave this example to somebody. I had an assistant once, and she complained a lot. Like if the client didn't do what they were supposed to be doing, if I didn't do what I was supposed to be doing, if the mail didn't come on time. I mean, she complained about everything. And, eventually, I just started asking her. I would listen, and then I'm like, well, how are we going to fix this? How are you going to fix this problem? How are you going to handle this? And sometimes people, they're just so wired to complain. That's just the way they're wired. That's just the way, that's what they're used to. Maybe they heard their father complain, or their mother, or their grandma, or whoever, but that's just the way they were wired. And sometimes you have to lovingly, direct them to see, okay, well, this is the problem, but now what is the solution? And that's eventually what she started doing. And interestingly enough, once her mindset changed, she really started getting opportunities that I couldn't offer her in the position that she was in. And she went on to do some, she's doing some really great things. But sometimes your mindset will keep you in a place that does not speak to who you are. And so you really have to watch, oh, hey, West Africa, how are you? That's awesome. That's really awesome. Welcome. So you really have to watch what your mindset, is like, and the mindset of the people around you and what you allow in your space. So successful people will not invite the drama. They won't hang around negative people. They're very protective of their space because they know they have to perform at a high level. And the fifth thing, and the one thing that I really had to learn, is successful people will not say yes unless they really want to. So most successful people learn pretty quickly that no is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to justify it. It's just no, right? And that is because when you overcommit yourself, you can't bring your highest self to whatever it is you're going to, right? Whether it's, you've committed to an event, you've committed to helping a colleague do a launch, you've committed to helping mentor somebody, whatever it is, if you cannot bring your full self, all of your glorious energy, then that situation is not going to reach its highest potential. So not only do you do yourself a disservice, because now you're all frustrated and you're overwhelmed and you're tired and you're just mad, you don't want to be there, but you also affect the other people involved in the situation because they're not getting their greatest you. So really take some time as you start becoming more visible and you start getting more offers and people start coming to you for things. I told somebody got so mad at me on LinkedIn the other day because they asked me, they were like, well, I have all these questions. Do you have answers? And I said, yeah. And I also have a consulting fee. I don't just show up and give like free answers all the time. I mean, you can't expect people to do that. Obviously some of us do because we have our overflow situation going on and it's fine, but we've decided to do that. You can't just expect somebody to do that. And when people constantly say yes to things because they want to people please, which has never really been my issue, but I always want to, because I feel that I've been given so much in life, I always want to give that back. But unfortunately, that's not always a good thing because I was giving back when I didn't have anything to give. Right? If you don't have like stuff stored up in you, then you can't give what you're supposed to give. So you have to be very careful. So just to recap really quickly, the 5 things successful people don't do: they don't let anybody limit their joy. That's number 1. Number 2 is they don't prioritize perfection, right? 3, they don't live in the past. They realize that failure can be a really good thing. They take the lesson and they move on. 4, they don't hang around negative people. And 5, they have learned to say no. All right. So don't forget, I have a free success guide. If you go to the link blessmenikki.com, because it's free. I'm blessing you, and I thought it was cute. There's a success guide there waiting for you. I hope you have a phenomenal Monday. I'm taking my ponytail self to the gym and then to go get my hair done. We're all excited about that. But I hope you have a great Monday. And like I said, I'll probably be talking about success all week long because I was at a conference over the weekend and it was like the biggest question that people had, like, how do you become successful? Well, I want to talk about it, and I hope that you will join me. All right? So until then, you guys have a great day, and I will see you later.